All right, good morning, cyber traders. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome from after a hungover of a Tuesday of the elections. Hopefully, your party won, maybe your party lost, whatever it is. But today we're going to talk about exactly what happened and certain stocks that benefit from it. Michael, good to see you. Lawrence, Jeff, good to see you all. Skip, it's good to see you too. Everybody on Facebook Live, welcome loud and clear. Good, you guys could hear it loud and clear. A couple of stocks that are moving. We got this nice pharmaceutical stock, MACK, that's moving in pre-market. There's a couple of nice iceberg orders. Personally, I'm not completely sold on it because up until 7:30, really hasn't gone anywhere other than been pretty volatile, big spread. A couple of stocks are moving in pre-market, but we'll check them out as we go along. Now, I'm going to be doing at 4 o'clock, I'm going to be doing a webinar for all the Cyber Group members. If you're on YouTube, you're more than happy to welcome. Just join us, like us, friend us. You could do a trial, get into the room. But I'm going to talk about what the outcome is. They're still counting. There's still not a big red wave they talked about, which made some of these stocks move. You could start seeing that my watch list are pretty red because of it. So you could see how things could change very, very easily. One of them that I really very interested that I want to bring up that really makes a big dent into this thing is the Trump stock. I just want to bring this up, the DWAC. So I think it's a day or two before the election. You could see that just bringing this up. You know, previous President Trump said he was going to make an announcement. You know, people today are starting to blame him for maybe not that red wave, but it was apparently there's supposed to be one coming. It doesn't look like it happened, but he did come out there a day before. You could see how this stock ran from $20 to $30. And now because of the red wave didn't really kick in as much as they thought, look what happened to the stock. It's right back to where it started. So this is why, and once again, if you're a Trump supporter, Trump fan, or you hate Trump, whatever it is, we all had the opportunity to make money going long, and you also had the opportunity to make going short. And you know what? And from the look of it, it doesn't really look that good because you could see the stock actually started all the way down to $16. It was up about literally over 100% in 2 days. And you know what? From the look of it, if it could get past, if it breaks through this 20, this is look like where it would go. So there are a lot of good stocks out there because we trade it. But once again, at 4 o'clock, we're going to do an event on that, so don't miss it. Now, before we go through the watch list, let's go through some things that are moving this morning. There were a couple of stocks I do want to keep an eye on. There's not listen, yesterday, before I do that, let me go over talk about what yesterday. Yesterday was a weird day, and I talked about this yesterday. I actually didn't do that well yesterday. I lost, not crazy, lost a couple of $100. And, it's funny that what happened to me yesterday is like, I was trying to catch up. I was getting a little bit here and there, and I was kind of digging myself into a little bit of a hole. And then it got to a point where this is what we all learn here at Cyber Trade University. You got to know how to control losses. You can't start going down, doubling, tripling down, because you can make what you're supposed to lose. Let's say whatever your point is. Let's say your goal is make $1 a day. Next thing you know, you could be down $2-3 a day, and then obviously, believe me, it snowballs after that. But I called it quits because I knew it was going to be a good day because of the election. But there were a couple of stocks that did move. Groupon was probably the really nice one out of them all. You could see Groupon, right at that 10 o'clock, had some nice pops, a little bit on a slow-moving stock. But it ran all the way up to about from 6:30 to about 8:60. Nice little move right there. Then right after 11:30, the stock pretty much died. This stock ran in the afternoon, ARQQ. You could see at 2 o'clock was 850, ran to 10. That wasn't that bad. This stock right here, this one is the one that got me because it was a great pop early in the morning. And then look at these candlesticks. You could see how the stock was moving about 10, 15 cents. And you could see how it did a shake, and boom, it popped. Did shake, pop. And then all of a sudden, boom, it come down. Boom, it went up. Boom, it came down. And all I could say is, thank God I got out of it, because if I didn't, I really would have got hurt on that trade. Because look what happened right here, right around 11 o'clock, 11:30, stock went from 460 and dropped all the way down to a price of 390, like that. And we know this from experience that this happens all the time, And there was one other stock also that we traded, which I have it over here somewhere. Now I don't have my watch list. I thought I had it on my watch. It was one other stock. Was it Neat? Was it Net? What was it? There was one other stock that we traded. Does anybody remember the Cyber Group room? It's just like we got into it, had a good pre-market, and it tanked. And I lost very little bit. I'm like, thank God I got out of that thing because that thing just totally crapped out big time. But once again, that's how you learn to trade. Ride, that's what it is. Thank you very much. You bring up. Ride was the other one. Thank you very much, Chris. So Ride had a good pre-market, had a big pop. I thought it was going to continue to go higher. I got in right around here at the highs, around 235, and then all of a sudden it backed off, and I got out right around here at 228. It says, you know, screw this. Stock broke support levels, and I took a loss on that one. And thank God I did, because look what ended up happening. The thing ran. It kept going down. I'm like, oh, crap. And I know some of you here around 10 o'clock were like, well, it is at support levels at 220, and then it never came down. It made a new low, and you thought it was going to be support levels around 210 after, because it was a cheap stock. Look where it ended up, all the way down to $1.70. Thank God, you know, like I said, that big winner, boom, could have been a big loser, and that's most important. So anyway, that was the past. Let's focus on the future. Let's talk about what's going on this morning. So anyway, we got the MACK stock that's moving up pretty nicely. Good pre-market, good movement. Pharmaceutical stock, it's kind of holding here pretty well, but we'll see how she opens up. Not super sold on it. There were a couple of nice iceberg orders that did show up, and I'll just bring them up over here, and I could show you 14. We got a couple here at 13. It's a little bit on the volatile side. You got to be a little bit more of an advanced trader, trade it. So be very careful on that one. Another stock that's moving here is AMRS that we found, and this stock is getting decimated. You could see the stock's getting crushed right here, really getting beat up. It looks like it's holding. Is it holding here? $1.70. It's got a lot of support levels here. If it holds here, you probably could get a good bounce. There is somewhat of a buyer out there for 24,000 right here at $1.60. You could see that, so that kind of explains it, why we got a big buy there. Another one I found on the list. There were a couple of that we found in pre-market though. Some of them worked out, some did not. We had the NRBO. So that one, once again, pharmaceutical stock got destroyed, got hammered. It's got good volume. I'm not completely sold on it as a dead cat bounce, but we don't know if these stocks don't usually make a big comeback because they're pharmaceuticals. We all know that from experience. That one was okay. We found the KOLD also. That one's moving up a little bit better. It's got good spread. Only problem with this one, it's an ETF, which makes it a little bit difficult to see the iceberg orders. So, but we'll keep it on our watch list. What do we have here on level 4? Yeah, let me just show you what I mean when I'm talking about it. You see what I'm saying? This thing looks disgusting. I don't even know what the hell I'm looking at. I mean, it looks like a, Atari. The game. Remember Atari back in the old days? Doot, 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 doot. That's what that thing looks like. So very hard. That's why we don't like to trade pharmaceutical ETFs, because we can't see level 4. A couple other stocks I do want to keep an eye on it though. A little bit more expensive though. So Meta, it's funny how I always. This is a great example. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Roblox in a little bit, Michael and Chuck. That one also I did have on my watch list. But I just want to talk about Meta. The most expensive, and this is what you learn in trading, the most expensive expense that a corporation has is salaries. Okay, no matter what you think, salaries are the most expensive part. That's why you saw, Musk fired all those people at Twitter. You heard what happened to Meta. They're going to be laying off thousands of people. They overstaff certain things. And you would think that would be like a stock that would be going down, right? Like, oh, they're firing people, whatever. But they're saving a lot of money. And believe me, they don't fire the cheap ones. They fire the people that make a lot of money. Remember, I couldn't believe it, but when Musk took over Twitter, did you hear how much money people were making there? They were making between, was it $175 to $250,000 a year? And some of us would be like, oh my God, that's like, really? They're like, yeah. And what are they doing? Making cappuccinos, doing yoga, you know what I mean? Like, it's like getting paid to hang out. I wish I could do that. I wish I could find a job like that. But anyway, party's over, clean house. Meta's having the same issue. It's probably going up now. You could see it because of it. But it's still got a big resistance levels right around this $100 price range-ish. When I looked over here on support levels, just want to bring this up. you could see that a couple of big iceberg orders showed up, and we know 100 is a very key number, and you could see how we got to 20,000 and 19,000 share buyers, and we got a couple of sellers here at 102, 120. So it might be a fun stock to trade today, as getting pretty volatile. And then everyone's bringing up Roadblock. Let me just bring up Roadblock here. So Roadblock has taken a very big hit. Came all the way down from $41, dropped all the way to 32, making a little bit of a bounce here. Now, when I go over here and I look at level 4, it's getting really hard to zoom in over here. We're getting some iceberg orders. You got to remember, this is a very difficult stock to trade, so to be very, very careful about Roadblock. It's got some iceberg orders here, but not that big, okay? So just because it's cheap, don't think you could trade it. And you could see right here how volatile it can get, how it can go from like 33 up to about 35. So we'll put that on our watch list, though. So not a big day in the market as what we want to trade, but we'll keep an eye on it. Amar is saying, Fausto, could you check on MACK on YouTube? MACK, we already brought this up. We talked about it. You probably logged in late. I'm not a super fan of this because it hasn't really gone anywhere since 7:30 this morning. It had that really big pre-market, but it's kind of flat, so kind of keeping it quiet. Skip is saying, should they fire the chief at Meta? I said they're going to probably fire him. They can't fire him. I think he's going to resign. Okay, I think he's probably going to resign. And let me tell you, I think a lot of these CEOs from these companies, what you got to watch out is that I've been listening to a lot of analysts, and if anyone knows about Web 1, Web 2, Web 3, all these companies like Twitter, Meta, Google, they're all Web 2. We're going to the Web 3 market, and also, we all know that whoever controls Congress controls, all these, hearings. So trust me, there's going to be a lot of hearings. So if the Republicans do take over, they're going to go after a lot of these companies if they meddle with any of the elections. And we all keep hearing about that. But whoever controls Congress can do the hearings. Democrats basically owned it. So if they want to do the hearings, they do it. If they didn't have to do it. And obviously, and the Republicans are blaming them that they're doing it. But if they do take over, I think you're going to hear a lot. You're going to hear a lot about it. And there could be a lot of regulations on it. Could be a lot of scrutiny on it. And that's what's going to be the big concern about all these tech stocks. And not only that, another reason why you want to be very careful is that we're going into the holiday season. They're already projecting that inflation's big, everything else is big. Listen, it's a great opportunity as traders to make money on it because we can make a lot of money going short. But they're expecting, even Amazon said, they're not expecting it to be a very, very big sales year. Credit cards already maxed out. People not even getting away from their, points. But now they're starting, unfortunately, the worst credit cards to use is your store ones, like your Macy's, your Caldors, Kohl's and Targets. No one really uses those credit cards, but they're tapping into those now, which can cause some major issues. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So if they're tapping it now, could you imagine we get through the holidays? And then we all know January, February, March, when you got to start paying those bills, when they start coming, it's going to get ugly. So it could be, listen, once again, it could be a very fun market for all of us. So let's go out there and see what happens. But anyway, be very careful. Let's not get too crazy. Listen, market opens up in 15 minutes. Before we go, if you are a CTU student here, don't forget Josh is doing the Swing Trading Pro course at 12 o'clock. I will be on Ask the Pros at 10 a.m. this morning. So if everybody got that link, I will see you there. And then once again, if you're new here to Cyber Trade University, just watch in the trading room. And if you just want to stick around trading all day, let's make our money and call the day off. All right, guys, good luck today. Happy trading. We'll see you back here for all those upcoming events. And if you're watching YouTube, we'll be back here 2:30. We're live every morning at 9 a.m. and at 2:30. Good luck, everyone. Happy trading. Be safe. And don't forget the 4 o'clock meeting this afternoon.